Welcome back. Alright, let's do our grinding and get that out of the way. We'll clean up both sides of the area, then best bet we'll head off against Koga. Maybe we'll do that next episode. Depends on how long this is going to take. With Stampede, I have the sinking suspicion it's not going to take that long. But you never know. Want to play with my Pokemon? And thus we begin. So while we're doing this, and keep myself on a decent topic, Tauros does not evolve. Tauros is one of those few Pokemon that look like they're related to a different Pokemon, and that different Pokemon is Miltank, which is a cow, and Stampede is obviously a bull. Wow, I wonder where he got that from. So, it's believed that they both come from the same line, such and such. Miltank being the female, and Tauros being the male. Still not a thing yet. Still waiting for that to be a thing. When when it comes to other regions, like Aloha, for example, Tauros are actually can be tamed very quickly compared to our regions. I mean that they can actually be used as ridden Pokemon. Like, you hop on top of them and you ride them about. And that's what they count as Rock Smash. That's also the best way to breed, funnily enough. This is the good one. Then to add on to that, like, Tauros over the last few years has actually gotten a lot of love, especially having three regional variants. There. I was able to say it with ease. Thankfully. So, the regional variants are actually mainly fighting type. Not really surprising because of how much of a rough Pokemon Tauros is, meaning it's more violent and aggressive tendencies are more emphasized with it being fighting type. It also has, well, with that three variants, there's also different types. One being wild variation, which is a fire fighting type, and the other one is I think it's a water it's a water variation, I just don't know the name on hand. But each one has a different yeah, it's called Aqua Breed, so water breed. So that being said, its variations are more widely embracing more of not just a bull, but more of, well, buffalo, yaks, and such. Actually, a small little thing in the news game is the water variation, the Aqua Breed, actually spins its tails about like a motor in the water, like just to move itself across the water. Like, the horses, cows, and such can swim. That's a fact that not much people know, but they can swim, and those tails acting as a rudder for it to move about within the water is a really nice detail. Yeah. Enjoy the newer games, is what I'm saying. I may be stuck here like 25-ish years in the past, but enjoy what you have, because eventually, once this time reaches again, if we're not all dead. I know we're going to a darker subject. If we're not all dead, this will be, that generation is going to be considered retro, and this will be referred to as ancient. Wow, think about that. How do you feel knowing that the GameCube is considered a retro console? How do you like the idea that the Xbox 360 is considered a retro console? time moves weirdly, and we should just accept it for what it is and not fight against the current. I don't mean give up and accept life for all of its bullshit. I mean, live your life the way you want to. If I want to sit here and make entertainment for you guys, which I'm pretty sure some of you guys are going to watch, period, and I say thank you. Even though it's small at the moment, I'm pretty sure it's going to grow into a lovely group of people that I can happily say that they watch me. But who cares about that? Let's keep on stomping some birds. Yeah, not that much trouble with Stampede, because Stampede is one of the few Pokemon that I know they have complete and utter confidence with because of its status line. I know it's like I'm giving too much praise to the Pokemon, but goddamn, does he do work? I barely need to do anything. Normal in this normal in most generations is, pretty sure I say this already, the butt monkey. But when you get that good normal Pokemon, that good Pokemon that has all the speed, all the attack, and all the HP, it just slowly falls into line of what they're going to be doing, and it's beautiful. Except if it's against sleepers, which I could care less about. Or get rid of all the glooms and Wigan Bells and all of that immediately. Paralysis. Do you think this is going to stop the pain train? Choo-choo! Why am I just thinking of Tauros with a conductor's hat now? I said pain train, that's the reason. But often that would just imply a football player's helmet, but I got... slowly breaking down, because, yeah, again, recording this 3 times in a row, and, yeah. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. I'm not expecting a different result, I'm expecting to get through. Except, you know, running up against a level 50 Venomoth, I'm still not going to let that go. Get somebody decide to say, oh yeah, we should have a level 50 on that person's team. Because, you know, it's in the anime, it gave him so much trouble, we gave you fodder. All I did with 2 Pokemon, but still, I feel kind of robbed. It was also my fault I didn't give extra PP to, I didn't give extra PP to them, so, yeah, I'll be tongue-cheek. Sue me. Yeah. Alright, let's keep on going. I'm just realizing how fast I'm going. Well, obviously I was going to go through this relatively fast, but I didn't really expect this speed. It's grinding. What am I to expect? If I was kind of every battle, I'll be best bet right where... I'll be best bet done. It'll be a quick LP and... No. If I'm going to suffer, all of you guys are going to suffer with me. Take it however you want, but that's the truth. You will watch my team get stronger. Period. Okay, double edge, stomp, strength. Double edge. At full HP, might as well, right? Nice and easy. There we go. Level up, Dan. Could never feel so good. I didn't ask for this. Yeah, you asked for an ass whooping. That's what I gave you. Alright, let's have an Ari take. take center stage because we're up against poison types again. Dude, you don't know how rich I am. I have so much money I'm able to buy out your, No, wait. I got my bicycle for free. Blah, blah, normal joke about money and power. Bend them spoons, Inari. Show them who's the queen around here. And yes, I've finally gotten used to referring to Inari as she because I'm so used to every year. Vernal exam that I have been male. Imagine my luck. In all honesty, I would. Okay, here's how petty I am when it comes to, like, I want to have things, like, in a certain way. I would soft reset repeatedly, trying to get the right gender. Period. Just to get that right gender if I can. Oh, and it'll be pain. Pain, I tell you. Ugh. Did you just get fresh new tires? Well, apparently on the other side of the bridge over there, there's a whole place where you can actually drive freely. Why don't you go over there and leave me the hell alone? No. Okay, you had to do this hard way. Mind you, I'm thinking of using those PP ups on Psychic because Psychic needs it the most. Because having only 10 shots of Psychic is really, really inflexible. Psybeam does the exact same thing with a little less damage, but still. Decisions, 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 decisions. That's why I will use the PP ups, but still. It's a fact of the Psychic is really good, and there's a lot of poison types, and I don't need to worry that much when using it. So, yeah, best bet, all certainty, I'm going to be using the PP up that I have here, and if I haven't picked it up earlier, I'll have to go grab it, because I only know the area. I know there's some places that have PP up just hidden, but I'd rather get my claws on them now, sooner than later, essentially. Primer, and let's bring out... Grimer's outright poison, so... Yay! It's the giddiest face you'll ever find, because it knows what's going to happen. Let the turtle suffering end! Okay. Let's bring out Raffi, and let's have Raffi handle these two girls. Because I think only one of them is actually using fine. Look gentle, so I can beat you. Seriously? I know I have a baby face still, but you seriously want to pick a fight now? Oh, you're so fucked. You yourself have signed your ass on a death warrant. Oh, you definitely signed it in full print, middle name and all. Oh, come on, Raffi. Giga. So while we're here, we might as well talk about Raffi and what's going to happen with her. Level 37. Level 37 is a magic number here. And that's when she is going to best bet learn her last move right before she becomes her evolution. Raffi is, yet again, just to state the obvious, is a stone evolution, evolving to Vileplume My mind is moving as faster. My mind is moving faster than my mouth. Sorry. She will evolve when inflicted with the radiation of a leaf stone. There's one in my bag, which we bought a few episodes back and I never gave an outright explanation for. It's for Raffi, obviously. And with this brings up a very unique conundrum. A Raffi can evolve into 2 Pokemon through stone evolution. One of them is obviously Vileplume, and the other one is Blossom, which evolves with the Sunstone. So... Give me a quick second. Alright. So this brings up the very unique conundrum of what the Gloom actually evolves into stably. Because Blossom is when it's induced with the rays of the sun, and Leaf Stone is induced with the radiation of nature itself. So we can simply ask the question of how this happened and such and such and such, or try and figure out how this came to pass. Because plants enjoy sunlight, but the Leaf Stone induces a transformation that enjoys the darkness. Because of how Rafflesia works is deep in the forest, only blooms every, 20 years? But whatever. It's that simple fact of Raffi has 2 evolutionary points. And they can go either way. Either go a pure grass type and lose the poisonous aspect, or stick with the poison and evolve into Vileplume. Depending on your standpoint on this, it becomes a very unique conundrum of what's the actual evolution. In my belief, it's the easiest option is the best option. From Raffi's head, we can obviously point out that it's a blooming plant. It's close to blooming, period. An evolution often takes aspect of the previous evolution, like say Wigglytuff's, for example, the swirl on its head, its big eyes, and the ears. Only having slight differentials, but still looking alike to its previous form. And the only form that has those same differentials is Vileplume. So Vileplume is best bet still the original evolution, where Blossom is best bet the mutation. Because mutation, Blossom doesn't share a lot of aspects with Gloom besides the plant, besides the flower motif and all that. You can easily put up the excuse of, instead of blooming from the bottom of the flower, she moves through the top and evolves like that. Which is totally and utterly justifiable. It's just a fact of, it wouldn't exactly make sense by an evolutionary standpoint to make that type of form. If you know what I mean. Now let's move away from Vileplume's whole, like, which one's the real one, which one's the mutation, blah 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 blah. Which is, in all honesty, fun and unique. And me talking on my ass. But let's talk about Mimic. Mimic also has a secondary form, that being the ancient form, the Hosilian form. Is it Hosilia? Whatever, ancient Sinnoh form. That being Electrode and Voltorb of the grass electric form. They're based off seed bombs, which are relatively self-explanatory. They're a bundle of seeds that you throw somewhere and they plant, and they grow and they make a whole swarm of seeds. Depending where you are, it's a actual form of vandalism. Go figure, because it blows up. and a seed that is it a seed or a fruit that falls off a certain tree. When it's impacted, it explodes and spreads seeds as far as it can. That's what Hosilian, Electrode, and Voltor are based off of. So we need to ask ourselves the question, or I need to bring up the question to you guys: how did they lose their, wooden aspect? Was it just because of evolution, or was it like evolution is always a thing, no matter what? Everything's constantly evolving. There's only some Pokemon that, well, not Pokemon, some animals that actually stagnate in evolution, and it becomes a hindrance to them. God, claws. yeah. I'll fucking put my hand in that ring. But when you look at creatures nowadays like raccoons, squirrels, and all that, they've evolved to be compatible with humans. So it would be the same statement with Electrode and Voltorb. Would they have just lost their, I'd say, outer shells and closed themselves up because of how humans were advancing, and deciding that it'll be much more efficient for them to be electric types instead of just electric grass? Say, instead of taking energy from the sun, making a form more condensed and powerful to keep all of that power and electricity that they have on the inside. Oh right, wait, I thought Ravi leveled up. I didn't level up Ravi? Ay. Ooh. Alright, I need to switch her out because, these guys. I know that, it's just me trying to remember. Because no matter how smart or sophisticated I might sound, I'm still a dumbass. So, yeah, there's that. However, all in all, Pokemon is a weird bundle of evolutionary traits, special evolution. Hell, we have two Pokemon that look exactly like Gen 1 Pokemon that just divergently evolved from ours, which makes some sense if you know how, like, natural evolution and all that. Oh, Jesus Christ. If you know how natural evolutions and all that work. Being that, hey, some animals in the world that are not at all related take traits from other animals from across the planet. Like, say, sharks and dolphins having the same color scheme, even though they are not distinctly related. Sharks actually being fish, and dolphins being a offshoot of hippopotamuses. Look it up. Look it up. I have confidence in this one. Because back in the old times, like ancient thousands of years ago. I know I'm not even talking about the game, but thousands of years ago, there was a small group of hippos that essentially went to the water because they believed because it was much better for them. They believed it was much better to fish and gather food that way. So that's what they did, and their bodies slowly evolved more and more and more until they became whales. Then you can easily assume off branches of that became like orcas, belugas, narwhals, dolphins, and such. The interesting point of they're all related to hippos. Go figure. I might be wrong on that, but I know whales are closely related to hippos, and yes. Well, yeah, it's divergent evolution. Then that's why we have a clam. Is it a clam? No, it's an oyster. It's not oyster. Did I just pronounce it like that? I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Don't worry. It's perfectly in the plan. But yeah, two oyster Pokemon that look exactly like Diglett and Dugtrio, and a set of mushrooms that look exactly like Tentacool and Tentacruel. Go figure, evolution's weird. So, I think this is a good place to end it off. Might be a little shorter than usual, but hey, it's good to get a little shorter episodes because I'm pretty sure everybody else are going to get thicker ones. So, next time we have only 2 more turns of battle, then we have the whole gym to ourselves. Oh boy. I'll see you all next time.